Hey, hey, a lead. Let's just sneak on in here and save. Saving is very important. This was Richard's old room. Okay, let's check the shelves here. Hey, I found an empty jet canister beneath the dresser. An empty jet canister was found in Richard Wright's room. It still has traces of jet inside. Okay. What else is... Nothing else here. Okay. What about in here? Just some money? I'm not disturbing. I'm just taking. I don't think there's anything else in here. That's like our main clue, is the jet canister. I think we can, like... No, we can't inspect it any further. Let me speak to Richard's mother, who's right here. Mrs. Wright. Hello! Mrs. Wright jumps. Oh my! You gave me such a fright, squints at you. Well, hello again! We still have 6 charisma, and this is a result of that. So I'm gonna do that. I noticed you humming to yourself and thought I would stop and speak to you for a moment, ma'am. Beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? She says, why, yes, it is. Smiles. I am Mrs. Ethel Wright, head of the Temperance Union here in New Reno. And who might you be? You're Richard's mother, right? I heard he passed away recently. Smile dies. Yes, my son Richard, yes, he left us much too soon. Yes, looks at her hands. I heard it was a jet overdose, is that right? Her jaw tightens. That filthy poison! I thought I taught him to stay away from that stuff. And then... Can you tell me where he might have gotten the jet? She says, I don't know. Hands clench into fists. They sell that poison on every corner here in New Reno. Everywhere you go, they're peddling it. Do you know of any specific dealers? She says, not by name. They know enough to run when they see me coming, but they cluster like flies along Virgin Street at the front of town and outside the casinos. I see. I had other questions. What were you saying about the Temperance Union before? She says, why yes, wags her finger at you. New Reno is a beautiful city, but there is sin here, much of which can be traced back to the evils of alcohol, or as you tribesmen call it, pauses dramatically, fire water. We primitives call it alcohol too. She rambles on. The Temperance Union was established to help people turn away from the poison of drink and turn towards more hard-working pursuits. Oh, well, she continues, New Reno can't exist on gambling and alcohol and prostitution and expect to survive. Oh no, not while Ethel Wright is at the helm. It won't. No sirree. Who's all in your organization? She thinks, well, good Father Tully for one. Father Tully. She says, oh yes, he's the spiritual leader of New Reno. He runs the Oldney Chapel here in New Reno. You simply must speak to him. He is quite inspiring. Okay, maybe I will. So what does the Temperance Union do? I think we've already done this. Okay, so it just keeps looping back. So I'm sorry, I just remembered I have a pressing engagement elsewhere. So one of these, there's a way, like she's very clearly in denial of like the whole operation that that the Wright family has, which is making alcohol and supplying the city with it. All under her nose in the grand scheme of things. So there is another side quest here where you can help Ethel Wright destroy the stills underneath the train station. But I'll do some visual aid here because, you know, not all of you have been here before. So down here is where the stills are. They have, I believe they do have slaves like working the stills as well. And I think there's several things here to loot, if I'm not mistaken. Junk parts, don't need those. But there's quite a few things in here. Oh, including my final Cat's Paw magazine that I needed. Yay! Sula, get out of the way, please. I must go. Turn in the Cat's Paw magazine. Okay, but that's the basement of the train station. That's where they make all the alcohol. One of these days, Ethel Wright's gonna bring down some righteous justice on the basement. On her own family. Okay, so we have a few leads. We can talk to the chem pushers of the area, but our first lead led us to the Desperado, because the Mordino family controls a jet. It's a pretty good idea to ask maybe Lil Jesus about what's up. So we're gonna ask him first. Walk up to Lil Jesus. We have a connection with him now. a benefit of working for this family first. He says, hey, you're punchy. Big old fighter. Man, you're good. Hey, thanks, little Jesus. I had a question for you. I think we've already gone over this. You know anything about Richard Wright overdosing on Jet? He says, that little peapot Wright kid? Ha! You trying to pin that crap on me? You're out of luck. I ain't sorry little effer's dead, but I didn't have nothing to do with it. Who do you figure might have done it? He says, yeah, Renesco, the rocket man, sells so much Jet, he could shoot you to the moon. He's on the west side, in Salvatore's territory. He don't like the Wrights none, and his chems ain't pure. You know what I'm saying? West side, huh? He can't be the only dealer in a town this size. He says, no, there's others, but Renesco's the one who done it. What makes you say that? He says, cause he's a half-blind crackpot with a mean streak a mile wide that sells bad crap. That's frickin' why. You go see him, you see what he says about the Wright kid, and then you'll see I'm right. What other dealers are there? He says there's Jules in front of town, peddles mostly to newcomers, and Jagged Jimmy J up on 2nd Street by the gym. Can't miss that punk butt because he cut his face up one night while on Jet. It's so bad his entire face is all scars. Renesco, Jules, and Jagged Jimmy J. Got it. Thanks for the info. Okay. I could have like pointed the finger directly at Lil Jesus, but I don't want to ruin my reputation with them just yet. Not yet. Soon, but not yet. So we'll talk to our man Jules here. He says, hey, welcome back. What is it you need from Jules, my friend? Do you know what happened to Mr. Wright's son, Jules? He says, Wright's kid? Yeah, I heard about that. It's a dang shame. Kids his age shouldn't be doing chems. They got so much to live for without being given impure crap. What do you mean by impure crap? He shrugs. Some dealers don't care what they sell, and people die. Now, I ain't saying nothing, but I'd check with old Renesco, the Rocket Man, and see how good his stuff is. All right, I'll check him out. So that's 2 dealers that are pointing to Renesco's. What are the odds that Jagged Jimmy J is going to point to Renesco as well? And he's like right up here, right on 2nd Street. And we have to retrieve the rest of our magazines as well from the trunk. This man has a slight facial tic and a scar down one of his cheeks. The scar looks like a knife wound. Brother, I had my eye on you since you walked down the street. You know what I see? What do you see? He says, I see a pilot. I see someone who wants to fly. You just need a little help. A little Jet. Jet, huh? I had some questions. And my pilot friend. When it comes to Jet, Jagged Jimmy J's your man. I got the best crap at New Reno. Pure Jet, straight Jet, the safest Jet. Jagged Jimmy J, huh? Say I had some questions. He continues. Other dealers, they don't care about quality. But me, I like keeping my customer base and keeping them happy. Know what I'm saying? It's just my way. The Jimmy J way. Hey, the Jimmy J way sounds great and all, and that's why I had some questions. He interrupts again. So what you say? What can Jagged Jimmy J can do for you today? That is grammatically super wrong. But I am asking, you said before your Jet was the safest. There isn't any bad Jet floating around, is there? He says, hey, you look familiar to Jimmy. Do I know you, my pilot friend? I fought in the boxing ring. He says, that's it. I knew I'd seen you somewhere before. Dang, why didn't you pull that from the start? Put Jimmy in his place. Heck, what can I do for you? I wanted something else. You said before your Jet was the safest. There isn't any bad Jet floating around, is there? He says, heck. All I'm saying is Jimmy likes his buyers happy and alive. Draw your own conclusions, my pilot friend. Is breathing more important to you than shoving a few chips off your next Jet purchase? Do you know anything about this empty Jet canister? He takes the canister, studies it. Nah, I sniffs nozzle, then frowns. Crap! This Jet's got Radscorp juice in it. Whoever was sucking on this ain't long for this world. Hands canister back. It's poisoned? He says, heck yes. Gotta be careful around this town with crap like that being passed around. That's why Jimmy always says, any idea where this might have come from? He says, nah, I don't. Look now, don't be spreading a word that's mine, if I were you. I'd ask Jules and Renesco about it, but you didn't hear that from me, all right? Renesco and Jules, huh? I'll ask them about it. Thanks for the tip. So I discovered, got a little experience there, discovered that Richard Wright was poisoned. There was poison used in this dose of Jet. So last we have to do, is my car up here? Where's my car? It's in the commercial row, I bet. We need to speak to Father Tully. We have 3 things that we can do here. So we'll first speak to Renesco. get a little breakdown on what the deal is. Okay, I accidentally loaded back in the Desperado before I started doing all the questioning. So now we're back. Speak to Renesco. He says, yeah, did you sell Jet to Richard Wright? He says, don't you even try and pin that accusation on me. You want to know who did it? Ask Tweedledum and Tweedledummer if they're still selling jet laced with arsenic. Can you tell me anything about this empty jet canister? He says, it's empty. It's a jet canister like hundreds of others all over New Reno. Anything I can help you with? Know anything about the rad scorpion venom traces that are in this canister? He says, rad scorpion? Renesco suddenly freezes as if remembering something. You son of a nice lady. You poisoned the kid, didn't you? He says, whoa, now wait just a minute. Don't mess with me, Renesco. Don't mess with me, Renesco. You try to weasel out of this one, and you'll be joining Richard, understand? He says, wait a minute, look, I didn't sell it to the kid. He never bought anything from me. I was asked to make some jet laced with rad scorpion venom, but I didn't sell it to the kid. You were asked to make poison jet for who? He admits. The Salvatores requested it. They said it was a special order. I didn't know they were going to give it to the right kid. You have to believe me. I don't poison kids. Why did you poison the jet? You had to know they were going to kill someone with it. He explains, the Salvatores own me. They own this place. And when they want something, I give it to them or they'll kill me and have me replaced. I never meant any harm to that boy. Yeah, I'm sure you had the best intentions while you were spiking that jet with poison. Goodbye, Renesco. Okay. So now we've found out what the deal is. You've exposed Renesco's involvement with Richard Wright's death. He was involved, but he wasn't who ordered it, basically. It was Salvatore. So, now we know. Let's speak to Father Tully. Oh, Father Tully's sleeping. Let's upgrade Marcus's rifle. Let's do that. The Dude Bro asks, what would you think about a new Fallout that was tied directly to the early games in the vein of relation, like being the Chosen One's grandkid or something? I think Legacy was already used in Fallout 2, and I don't like character legacy overdone, because after so much time you're living in the shadow of a character. I'd imagine after so many times of doing that kind of thing, it would put your character in too much of a mold and make role playing as different characters a little more difficult. So I don't know about that, but thank you for the question anyway. Berserk left a comment asking if there was a Fallout game that took place right before the war, as in the fight in Alaska, something in the style of 3 or New Vegas, would you be interested? I'm under the impression that you have played Operation Anchorage, because it's kind of that. The Operation Anchorage DLC for Fallout 3 is that. You are in a simulation during the fight in Anchorage, Alaska. But it is kind of framed in a way where, because it's a simulation, it's painted as propaganda too, which is very Fallout. On the other side of that coin, though, I don't know if it would serve well as its own game, because that was one of the, in my mind, one of the weakest DLCs for Fallout 3. I don't know if it would work. I'd be willing to try it if something like that showed up, but I'm worried that it would get too close to being just a regular shooter at that point, or a wartime game, because so much of the things that make Fallout cool, the post-apocalypse part, wouldn't be there. So I don't know. I don't think I'd be super into that. Thanks for the question. Okay, I cut that, I'm sure, but I took the Bozar and the laser pistols back off of him. Just a little cycling back and forth. Where is my car? I do not know where my car has gone. I hope it didn't disappear completely. So we're not going to speak to Father Tully. We're instead going to try to find our car. So it's not parked here. Is it at the entrance? It might be at the entrance. I hope it is. Otherwise, we might have lost our car. I don't want to lose my car. The Highwayman is very important to me. So we'll go to Virgin Street. There's the car. There she is. There's the butte. We're going to throw the Bozar in here because we don't need it right now. Okay. We also have 10 issues of the Cat's Paw magazine to turn into Miss Kitty. So we're going to do that. Definitely. She might even recognize me for my boxing prowess. Hi, Miss Kitty. The woman before you is stunningly beautiful. As you address her, she looks up from her work and smiles. Ah, a new face. I'm Miss Kitty. Welcome to the Cat's Paw. What is your pleasure today, sir? I can look for some action. I think those give attribute boosts depending on what you choose. But what we're here for is, I've been finding some magazines named Cat's Paw throughout the desert, and I have no idea what they are. I have one right here. She looks surprised. Let me see. Glances at the magazine. Well, you know, I had heard a rumor that in the pre-war years, the Cat's Paw was a publishing house for pornographic materials. For pornu? A publishing house, you said? She says, yes. The rooms here were used to film shoots with models from across the world. She seems entranced by the magazine. Quite a little piece of history you have there. I reply, I'm just glad to know what the dang thing is. It's irritating to keep examining it and getting the same message over and over. I'll probably still get it, even though it's identified now. Little fourth wall break there. She says, you know, if you can bring me a complete set, say 10 issues, I'll buy them from you. They'd be good for a display. Might attract some customers. Are you interested? Actually, I happen to have 10 right here. She says, wonderful. I'll give you 500 for the set. Sounds good. Here you go. But hey, careful with number 5. The pages look like they are glued together. She says, really? Examines number 5, then goes through the rest of your stack. Well, it looks like you have 2 of them, so you can have this one back, but let me get the stain out first. Okay, by the way, that stain isn't mine. I have no idea how it got there. She says, happens all the time around here. Miss Kitty starts cleaning the magazine, mostly to the sheets. That would do it. Holds it up. Good issue. Has an article on energy weapons, it looks like. Here you go. An article on energy weapons, thanks. I might read it later on. Okay. This is Cat's Paw, issue number 5. It's hard to find, and the pictures aside, this issue has a wonderful article on energy weapons. And there it is. I can read it whenever. I'm probably not going to read it now. But we knocked that out. We knocked out the Cat's Paw quest. I guess that was part of the completion thing plan for the playthrough as well. So we did it. We did it. Now, I believe we can take the car over to the Wrights and speak to Orville Wright and tell him who done it. The doorway seems blocked. Why? What? What doorway? The kids are outside playing now. Gosh dang kids. I think I did it right. I'm pretty sure that I can just speak to him. I think I could probably just walk in, but I am going to ask Keith about his mom. He says, what about her? Has she gotten herself in trouble again? Does your mom have any idea what your family does? Keith says, nah, she don't know the half of it. She thinks dad's all clean and above the board, but she ain't too bright to catch on to what he's doing. If she found out what's beneath this train station, she'd raise Cain, she would. I see. Thanks, Keith. Okay, let's just speak to him. Hello? He says, you again? You find out who killed my boy? Well, Mr. Wright, your son didn't die of an overdose. He was poisoned. He says, what? Poisoned? What in heck's name are you talking about? I found this jet canister that Richard used, or was used on Richard. There were traces of rad scorpion venom in the cartridge. He says, assuming I believe this for a second, and I ain't saying I am, then who poisoned my son? And why did they go to the trouble of dosing him with jet? Word is it was the Salvatore's. They pumped him with jet laced with rad scorpion venom, then left him for you to find. He says, now why the heck would they do that? I don't know, maybe you should ask them. He stares at you for a long time, then a dry chuckle escapes his lips. You give me an answer, and I can't do nothing about it. The Salvatore's. Gosh, dang it. Takes a deep breath. You can't do anything about it. What do you mean? Orville exclaims, you know what those Salvatore guys are armed with, friend? Those dang Lightbringers. One Salvatore packing that kind of heat can kill my whole family without batting an eye. To beat that, I'd need... what? Well, now before I get into specifics, let's settle accounts first. Here's a little cash for your trouble, plus some ammo, liquor for my private stock, and another job for you, if you're interested. Oh, I'm interested. Special thanks to my Wasteland legends, Sven and David Hoover, and thanks to the rest of my patrons on screen now. You can catch future episodes of this playthrough on Wednesdays and Fridays, noon and 10 a.m. Pacific. Thanks for watching. I'm Caedo Genesis, and may you wander the wasteland like you own it.